everyone? This is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Well, I just got back from the Giant game. Oh, it's a Giant win, and that's all that matters. It was an interesting game against the vaunted Chicago Bears. Not so vaunted Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears are a mirror of the Giants in some regards. So it was one of those games that it was interesting to watch even before everything that happened with Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor, and we are going to get into that. But it was one of those games that you really never knew that Saquon Barkley ran the ball 31 times. You really didn't. When you're there, you know Barkley was running the ball quite extensively, but you didn't really know how much. And then you look down at one point in the second and third quarter, you're like, he's run the ball 20 times already. Then you look at it and goes, he's run the ball 31 times for 146 yards for 4.7 yards a carry. And I jokingly said in a video a couple days ago that if I was the Giants, I would never throw the ball. I would run Saquon Barkley 497,000 times a game. And it was pretty interesting to see that they did that because, honestly, the weather was not a factor. It drizzled off and on. We had a little bit of rain there in the third quarter, but it was one of those games that I thought the rain and the wind would be a factor. It wasn't a factor. This was a Giant game plan going into this game. Why? I don't know. Was it the right thing to do? Yes. And I've said it a million times. Saquon Barkley just needs to be the heartbeat of this offense. He needs to run the ball consistently, and he needs to be given the ball consistently. I said it a million times. There's no way that Saquon Barkley can only have 18 touches in a game and only 14 rushes like last week. And you can't wait till the third quarter to start trying to use him as an offensive weapon. It was interesting in the fact that Daniel Jones only threw the ball 8 times for 13 yards. He had the 2 big runs that everyone's going to talk about for the touchdowns, which were basically they were play action designs, runs, and it was because of the fact that they were taking advantage of the over aggressiveness of the Chicago defense as they were trying to defend Saquon Barkley. But is this a sustainable type of offense? No. Can you do this consistently against the Ravens and, the Green Bay Packers? No. Because of the fact that they are just going to put 7-8 in the box. They're going to stop the run. They're going to dare you to throw. And that's it. That's exactly what they're going to do. Now, Daniel Jones, of course, went out with a rolled up ankle. Tyrod Taylor came in. You know what I found interesting, though, being at the game? Tyrod Taylor came in, and I think it was the third play when he threw the interception. That was the only play of the game the Giants threw deep, was that throw from Tyrod Taylor, which I found kind of telling because it's almost like we've said it before. The Giants are getting away from Daniel Jones. They're sitting there and saying, listen, Saquon Barkley is going to have to be the engine. He's going to have to be the heartbeat of the team. He is going to, and you could see it as the game progressed, that he is going to have to be the bell cow back, that he's going to have to run it. And it was interesting because I think the Giants wanted to run it something like, I think Dable said he wanted to run the ball like 45 times, and I ran it like 44 times. But it was, like I said, it's a win. It was an ugly win, but you know what? Again, we've said it a million times. All it says is 3-1 New York Giants NFC East. It does not say 3-1, 3 ugly wins. and that's all that matters at the end of the day. But we are going to have to try to figure out this offense. We're going to have to try to figure out something offensively that we can hang our head off in reference to showing some type of a passing game. You had a nice game from Jalen Smith today. He had 6 tackles, 1 assist. He actually, which was nice. He had 5 solo tackles, which is what you want to see out of your linebackers. We finally generated a pass rush. You had Tate Crowder, you had Ward, Dexter Lawrence had 2 sacks, Ezio Jolari had a sack as well. The Giants basically doubled their sack total from the first 3 games, so that was nice to see. You had a little bit of action also going on with our old buddy Kayvon Thibodeau. Was he involved as much as he probably could have been? No, but you know what? He did. He was able to get to a little bit of pressure. He was able to get to the quarterback at times. He had 1 quarterback hit, I believe, as well. But it's going to be a learning process. He's going to be getting back into the swing of things. Going to get back in the game. And like I said, he is a rookie. He is going to learn. And at the end of the day, we're going to have to just kind of wait and see how that plays out. But he is a rookie, and You know, he's gonna take his lumps. He's gonna go through his growing pains. You had Fabian Monroe had a pretty good game out there as well. We're calling him Isaac Yiden 2.0 here in the stands. So that was a lot of fun. Like I said, it was a good game. It was a fun game to go to. It was a good game to hang out. I want to thank Big El Gigante for coming out with me. The Giants defense stepped up against a very bad Chicago Bears offense. Then if you take a look, Justin Fields 11 for 22 for 174. He had 7 runs for 52. They kept kind of Khalil Herbert in check with 19 carries for 77 yards for 4.1. They gave up a couple big plays in the secondary, which is Mooney had 4 catches for 94 yards. But it was just one of those games that you never felt, even though the score was only 8, you never really felt the game was in jeopardy from the Giants' perspective in reference to the offense of the Chicago Bears. You never felt that way. You never sat there and said to yourself, well, we're in trouble here. You never felt that way at all. And you could feel that pulse in the stands. So that was nice. It would have been better if it was like a 35-12 game. So we didn't have to be a little concerned. And that play at the end of the game that the Bears were, I don't even know. At one point in time, the fireworks went off as the Bears were still running the play on the field. That's how crazy of a game this was. And if you think about it, you only completed, both teams, 20 passes. Only 20 passes were completed by both teams on this vaunted Sunday. Darius Slayton is gotta fight for that interception. He didn't show much effort. He should have automatically turned into a defensive back as he saw the corner going for the ball. He should have fought for it more. He did have 1 catch, so that was shocking. And can we please just stop the David Sills experiment? Watching David Sills in person, play after play, down after down, is a nightmare. There has got to be someone else on the waiver wire. There's got to be someone else on the practice squad. There's got to be someone else in general, that in reference to he had 1 catch for 5 yards and 2 targets. And like I said, no one had any offense today. But David Sills he just looks horrible. If you watch him, and like I said, I've got to watch him from the stands the last 2 or 3 home games, and he is just a nightmare to watch. And I'm not being rude about this, and I'm being painfully honest. He is not an NFL wide receiver, and I have no idea what he's doing. Also, there should have been a 15-yarder on that hit on Tyrod Taylor, because that was a helmet-to-helmet hit. There should have been a 15-yarder on that. He is currently in concussion protocol right now, and everything that went on with Tua. It might take him a little bit extra time to get out. Daniel Jones, they were saying when he went to the podium this afternoon after the game, did not walk with a limp. He did not have a boot on. We'll have to wait and see how the swelling happens, or if any swelling happens or occurs next week. If not, you're going to have to sign Davis Webb off the practice squad and bring him up into the roster. It is curious, though, if you think about it, on long flights such as this to the UK, because of the pressurization in the cabin, swelling does occur in your body. So we'll have to see how that swelling is for Dan Jones before they fly out on Thursday. I doubt Tyrod's going to make the trip only because of the fact that anyone who's had a concussion will tell you a long flight to a different country is probably not the best thing that you're going to want to do for Tyrod Taylor. But you got to give big props to the Giants. You got to give big props to Brian Dable to figuring out the fact that you just got to run Saquon Barkley 4,978 times, and you know what? Good things will happen. All Daniel Jones's big runs were set up because of the fact that the defense was over pursuing on Saquon Barkley, which allowed him to do the play-action rollout. And that's all these things. That's all it was. They were just designed play-action rollouts. And they were either designed to go to the tight end, or they were designed to be runs for Daniel Jones. I guess what the Giants doing right now, they're playing to their strengths. They're playing to what they know this team has. But at the end of the day, we are going to have to figure, Kafka and Dable are going to have to reach into their pocket and find something. They're going to have to find something for this offense because this is not going to be sustainable. But you know what? I enjoyed the win. I enjoyed the game. We enjoyed going out onto the field after the game as always. So that was a lot of fun. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you like, if you subscribe, if you're reading that bell, you know what I mean. That'd be awesome.